Hi, everyone. Whenever you're watching this, you are doing well. Hi to the person that just joined. I'm going to start this other live stream now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Thursday power class. We'll wait a couple minutes. Got some fun things in today's class I've never done in a class before, so be ready for some new challenges. And if you want a block, you can grab one. Hello to the person that just joined on Facebook. We will go ahead and get started. And we're going to get started in some movement today. So, finding a tabletop on your mat. Because I'm feeling very energetic and feeling like moving right away. So, coming to a tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And allow yourself to just open up the wrists. We're going to be doing a few arm balances. So warming up the wrists to start. Just moving in one direction, and moving the opposite direction. And feeling free to move your fingers to point towards your thighs. Maybe let the backs of the hands rest on that. Just taking a few more breaths as you move, start to layer on this breath. Making each inhale and each exhale deeper than the last. And allowing yourself to come back to a neutral spine with normal hands, fingers pointed forward. And start to crawl the hands forward, resting the chest towards the mat. So leading with the chest, not with the chin, even though the chest doesn't touch the ground, that's fine, but just act like you're leading with the heart, melting it towards the mat. Pressing into the forearms with the fingers, keeping the hips stacked over the knees. Take one more deep breath here as you feel the heart press towards the mat. And start to slide forward into your Sphinx pose, letting the hips drop down, elbows stay under the shoulders, tops of feet rest on the mat. And feeling all 10 toes, all 10 toenails press down. And let the heart open up, pull the shoulders back and down, pressing the hips to the earth. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, lower everything down to the mat. We'll press it back into a child's pose, sending hips towards heels. On your exhale. Inhale, do shift forward, dropping the hips down to the mat, keeping the arms straight. So coming into a cobra. If your back's feeling pretty warm, you can drop the hips all the way down, or keeping the hips slightly lifted, pulling the shoulders back. One inhale here. And then exhale, press it back to child's pose, hips to heels. Inhale, shift forward, drop the hips. Maybe the gaze goes up, opening up the throat. On your exhale, send the hips back towards the heels. Last one, inhale, come forward. Drop the hips down. And then find the tabletop, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts up. On your exhale, drop the head, lift the belly. Inhale, heart comes forward, eyes go up. On your exhale, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Now flow a few more times with your own breath. And we'll eventually be back in a neutral spine. We start to crawl the hands forward, and we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. Let the palms play under the shoulders. We're going to bend this left knee, coming into a half frog, just warming up the hips. Doesn't have to go up super high, but just feeling that left inner thigh lengthen towards the mat, and let the left knee lengthen out towards the left side of the room. And then tuck the right toes under so you have a little grip, a little resistance towards the back of the mat. Bring it into that left inner thigh. And left hip soften down. One more breath here. And switch out the sides, let the left foot track towards the back, tuck the left toes, and pull the right knee up, elbow, right shoulder, wherever. Continue to soften into that right hip, letting it soften towards the mat. One more inhale. Send the right leg back next to meet the left. We'll press it up through tabletop. And then tucking the toes, lifting this downward facing dog. Allowing yourself to pedal out the feet. Bending in and out of the knees. I've had this phrase in my head for a while. That's making or saving space for anything that's not here, not meant for you, not in your life currently. So we have all these opportunities underneath of us, like an infinite amount, so not feeling just stuck to one of them. So being open, having an open heart, open minds, allowing yourself to be open to all opportunities, all paths underneath of you today on your mat. Coming back to a still down dog. Next inhale, look to the top of the mat. And start to walk the feet up to meet the hands. On your inhale, lift up, halfway bring hands to shins. And exhale, fold and lift up, halfway flat spine. And exhale, release all the way down. On your inhale, rise up. High mountain, reach the arms overhead. And bring the hands to heart center, closing down the eyes. Allow yourself to find an intention for your practice here. Maybe that intention is what I just talked about, being open-minded, not being stuck to one thing, one idea, but maybe taking this practice to go without intention for once and find what comes up during practice. Options are endless for intentions, for manifesting. You can really choose whatever you want. Next, inhale, open up the eyes, extend the arms overhead. On your exhale, dive it down, forward folds. Lift up, halfway flatten the spine. On your exhale, plant the palms, step it back to high plank. We'll shift forward on the toes, and lower all the way down to your belly. Letting the tops of the feet root down. Next, inhale, lift up, baby cobra, shoulders draw back and down. And exhale, release, chin to the mat. Inhale, lift and fill, shoulders draw back. And exhale, soften down. Last one, lift up with your inhale. Let that exhale soften you all the way down. Tucking the toes under, pressing up high, plank or tabletop. On your exhale, down dog, hips lift high. One inhale as you fill the low belly. Sides of lungs, all the way to the top of the chest. And release, let it feel good. Releasing that breath out. Next inhale, come high to the toes. Bend into the knees. Then step or float feet to hands. Lift up halfway, flat spine. And exhale, release, forward folds. On your inhale, rise up to standing. Big full body stretch. With the hands meet at heart center. Next inhale, arms reach overhead. On your exhale, dive it down. Lift up halfway, flat spine. And plant the palms. This time, step or float back, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale as you pull the chest forward, drop the hips down. And exhale, hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Next inhale, we'll send the right heel high towards the sky. On your exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. First, keeping the hands grounded, shifting back and forth on the ball of the left foot, opening up the hips, finding this stable foundation between left foot and right foot. And coming to a still stance in your legs. On your next inhale, reach the arms overhead. Then we'll cactus the arms, opening up the heart. So pinching the shoulders down. Acting as if your elbows are going to touch behind you. So really engage the upper body. Sending the hips towards the front of the mat. An option to add a little back bend if your back is feeling open. Tucking the tailbone, lengthening, leading with the heart as you reach up and back. One more breath here. On your exhale, fly the arms back. Keep the legs as is. We're just going to hinge at the waist. And as you hover the torso over this right thigh, can you pull the ribs away from that thigh? Squeeze the belly up and in. As you reach actively towards the back of the room. Let the crown of the head reach forward. 2 more breaths here. Stay high in those left toes. Lengthen from left heel out through top of head. And on your next breath out, let the left knee drop down to a low lunge. And keep the toes tucked so the top of left foot soften than that. And reach the arms up, maybe slightly back. And still pulling that left foot forward, right hip back. And you take the gaze up. Soften shoulders, 1 more breath here. We'll tuck the left toes under once again. Fly the arms back, hinge at the waist. Reach crown of head forward. And back into these lunge legs. Let the back of the left knee pull up towards the sky. Right knee stacked on top of right ankle. Next thing, you'll open arm twist to the right. Your right leg is really going to feel it at this point. Right arm back, left arm forward. Keep the bend into the right knee. Tracking that right shin forward. You take the eyes back towards those right fingertips. And as your eyes track back, you rotate that right shoulder back. 1 more breath here. We'll drop the left foot on the inside of that right foot. We're going to step it back to a side plank. You can either plant both hands down, step it back, or for more of a challenge transition, left palm plants and step the right foot back to meet the left foot. And keep the feet stacked, staggered, drop left knee, or maybe raise the top right leg. Wherever you're at, still firing up this left arm, driving it into the mat. You lengthen, reach, and extend through right fingers. 1 more inhale. And coming through center, high plank, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, you pull the chest forward, tops of feet root down. On your exhale, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left leg high. Send the left foot in between the palms. And again, here, keeping the hands grounded, maybe the palms, fingertips. Shift back and forth with the ball of the right foot. You start to feel the right hip flexor open up. And find a still stance in your legs. Next breath in, rise up. First, reaching arms overhead, finding that length. And then practicing the arms, opening up the heart. Now this is where it gets real challenging in the left leg and the right leg. And in that breath, so keep it deep, keep it flowing from the belly all the way to the top of the chest. Push the shoulders back and down. On your next exhale, fly the arms back, hinge at the waist. So this time, pulling the low ribs away from this left thigh. Notice if your torso is touching. You can feel that sensation and try to pull up a little on the ribs, on the belly. Last breath here. Drop the right knee down and keep toes tucked or untucked them, whatever is most comfortable. And reach the arms overhead. Maybe add a little back bend, keeping the shoulders nice and soft along your ears. Reaching high through all 10 fingers. 1 more breath into the hip. And tuck the right toes under, lift the knee, fly the arms back. And shake the waist once more on this side. Then the length from side bodies out from the crown of the head. Next inhale, rise up, open arm twist, left arm back, right arm forward. Keep the back of the right leg pulled up towards the sky. And draw that left shoulder back. Spreading from collarbone to collarbone, you take the eyes back towards that left thumb. And more deeply to the left knee, 1 more breath. And drop the right hand down the inside of the left leg. You can either plant the palms to step it back, or for more of a challenge, to step the left foot back into that side plank. Lifting the hips high. You raise a leg or drop a knee. With each breath in, you lift the hips, finding more space between the mat and that right hip. And exhale is that challenge for you to hold. And coming down through high plank, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Exhale as you lift the hips, downward facing dog. Now flowing through that with your breath. So feel free to match this pace or take it on your own, slowing down the breath, just tuning into your body. Next inhale, right heel goes high. Send the right foot in between the hands. On your inhale, reach the arms overhead, cactus the arms. Exhale as you fly the arms back into the waist. Left knee drops low, lunge, arms extend high. Exhale, flat arms back, tuck the left toes under. Inhale, open arm twist, right arm back, left arm forward. And exhale, left palm drop, step it back to your side planks. Holding for one, inhale, lifting the hips high. And coming through high plank, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, hips lift high. Left side, left heel high. Left foot in between the hands. On your inhale, rise up, practice the arms, open the heart. And fly the arms back, hand to the waist. Right knee drops, low lunge, arms extend up, maybe a little back bend. Power lunge, fly the arms back, crown of head pulls forward. Open arm twist, left arm back, right arm forward. Drop it down into your side plank, stepping the left foot back, reach the hips high, one inhale. And let that following exhale bring you through high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog, hips go high. One more round each side, right heel high. Right foot steps in between the palms. Rise up, practice the arms, maybe a little back bend. Fly the arms back, reach crown of head forward. Left knee lowers, low lunge, breathe in. Rise up, fly the arms back. Inhale, open arm twist, twist towards the right. Left hand plant, step it back to high, side plank, lift the hips high. Lower down through your chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Left heel high. Left foot steps in between the palms. Your inhale brings you up, practice the arms. Fly the arms back, hand to the waist. Low lunge on your inhale. Exhale, power lunge, arms reach back. Inhale, open arm twist, spread your wings. Then drop the right hand down, step it back, side plank, one inhale. Come through center, high to low plank. Up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Bring a few breaths either here or in child's pose. Just taking a moment to collect your breath, collect your thoughts, bring stillness back into your body. And if you're in child's pose, press it back up to downward facing dog, taking a deep inhale, filling that low belly. Then the chest expands. And then letting the chest soften, finding more depth in the chest. Next inhale, right heel goes high. Step the right foot in between the hands. We'll rise to an open arm twist. Rising up, first extending arms up, and reaching right arm back, left arm forward. So we've been here many, many times before, so what more can you do here? Just lowering the right thigh towards the mat. Twisting more from the spine, or maybe it's engaging that breath. Or stilling the mind, stilling your focus towards the back of the room. Dropping deeper into right knee, dropping that right shoulder back. Next, now we're going to shift towards the front of the room, then open up, going towards the back of the room. So spin off the ball, the right foot. Now having a bend to the left knee, we'll drop the right hands on the inside of that left foot and reach the left arm high. So now twisted lunge towards the back of the mat. Spiraling the chest, take the gaze high. And still engaging that back right leg, up towards the sky. Last 2 cycles of breath. And lowering that left hand down, walking the hands to the long edge of our mat. Facing the left side of the mat and rise all the way up to standing. Now we're going to take your feet super duper wide. So however you landed here, taking the feet even wider, maybe even towards the back and the top of your mat. You want to feel this crazy strength and activation on the inner thighs. And then reach the arms overhead. So pressing palms to touch. Maybe you take the gaze high. So sealing the outer edges of the feet down. This one will really get you fast. Engaging the inner thighs, pulling that belly in, and activating those arms, pressing the hands towards the sky. More space in the inner thighs, one more breath. And then lowering the hands down, Heel toeing the feet in. Shifting towards the top of the mat. We'll find a weight in the right foot. On your next inhale, rise up into a warrior three, but this warrior three is going to be a little different. We're going to cactus the arms and let the palms face the ground. So that left heel presses back, the toes dive down. Drawing steady in that right leg. Just like our crescents with cactus arms, pinching the shoulders back. Act as if the elbows are going to touch. One more breath here. On your exhale, bring left knee to chest and bring the forearms to touch. Maybe you even press the knee in between the forearms, but keeping the torso hovered over the mat. Next knee, open back up, warrior three, left heel presses back, cactus the arms. Exhale, left knee to chest, bring the forearms into touch. Last time, extend that left heel back, open the chest. And then let the left foot soften down next to the right, find a forward fold. Let your feet heel toe out, heels in, toes are out, and sending the hips back and down. You shifting side to side, elbows against the inner thighs. Bring your hands to heart center. Choosing to do whatever you want in this Malasana Yogi squat. Option to stay here or play with crow pose, planting the palms. Sitting the knees on the shelf of the upper arms. And if you're in crow, drive your palms into the mat. Maybe play around with taking the gaze forward. One last inhale. On your exhale, everybody, feet to the back of the mat, lower down. Inhale, heart goes forward. And exhale, hips go high. One inhale, filling up. And one exhale, emptying out. Next inhale, left heel sweeps high. Stepping the left foot in between the palms. And rising up to that open arm twist. First lengthening up, then left hand extends back, right fingers forward. On that right hip forward, then reaching long through left fingertips. With each inhale, you lengthen the spine up. Each exhale, you twist. Maybe take the gaze back. And your breath to deepen into the left knee. We'll pivot around to face the right side of the mat. And pivot all the way to the back, swing onto the ball of the left foot. And dropping that left hand down on the inside of the right foot and let the right arm reach overhead. So that right foot is at the back of the mat. And those left toes. Just like that open arm twist. Now it's kind of on its side. With each inhale, you lengthen up. Each exhale, you twist, open the spine. Last breath here. And let the right palm set on the mat. So walk the hands to the long edge of the right side of the mat. On your inhale, rise all the way up. This time we're going to do something a little different. Keep the feet as is. And then take the arms out to T. Palms facing the right side of the room. Then start to hinge at the hips. Let the palms face the ground. Now still sealing the outer edges of the feet towards the mat. We have a tendency to shift back, but shifting forward in the hips. Reaching crown of head forward. Keep pulling the arms up, maybe you take them back behind you. Keep feeling the upper body fire up. One more breath here. Lower everything down to the mat, wide-legged fold. Option for a headstand here. You can stay here with the palms planted. Maybe walking the heels of the hands in line with heels of the feet. Two more deep breaths. Next, you'll walk the hands forward, lift up halfway. Then bring hands to hips, slowly rise all the way up. And turning towards the top of the mat. That left foot will find the top, toes pointed towards the top. Then lifting off into that warrior three with the cactus arms. So pressing that right heel back, dial the toes down. Arms are at 90 degrees, drawing them up towards the sky. Making sure you're equal in the foot, equal weight between the arch and the outer left foot. On your exhale, bring right knee to chest, bring the forearms into touch. The heel hovered over the mat. Next inhale, open back up, warrior three. Press the heel back, press the arms. Exhale, right knee to chest. Bring forearms in. Last time, inhale, kick it back, open up. Then drop the right foot down, next to the left, shake out the legs. We'll heel toe feet out, dropping the hips down, finding our second Balasana, bringing hands to heart center. Option for another crow pose or your first crow pose, or you can just chill out here. If you're taking a crow pose for a second time, play around with straightening the arms out. Keep pulling the heels closer towards the glutes, big toes into touch. One more strong inhale. Let's exhale, send it back. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Downward facing dog, hips lift high. Taking a few breaths here, always option to drop down into child's pose. Maybe close down the eyes, give yourself a few deep breaths. And on your next inhale, send the right heel high. Then bend into the knee, open up the hip. Making some circles in the ankle, maybe in the knee. Soft favor that left heel. Bring straighten that right leg out. And send the right foot in between the hands. Dial left heel down. On your heel, rise all the way up. Reach the hands up towards the sky. So finding a warrior one. Right shin, right big toe pointed forward, sealing the outer edge of the left foot down. One more breath in with arms overhead. Bring the hands to interlace with the low back, opening up the chest, drawing the knuckles towards the back of the room. And on your exhale, start to hinge at the waist, finding your humble warrior. Dropping right elbow, right shoulder on the inside of that right knee. Noticing if you're opening up with the left shoulder, try to soften the left shoulder down as well. Rinsing and breathing right into the shoulders. Keep sending knuckles up and overhead. Two more deep breaths here. With the right thigh open up. Next inhale, rise all the way back up. And open it up to warrior two. Let the right toes draw forward, right shin presses forward. Let the arms soften, palms facing the earth. Finding a strong warrior two here. Gaze forward, your two eyes focused on one point. And the inner thigh lengthen out towards the right side of the mat. Back of left leg is nice and engaged. Spine is tall. Last deep breath. Now straighten into the legs. I want to heel toe this left foot in. Kick your hips back, reaching forward with fingers, and dropping right hand down into your triangle. Right hand, these fingers can go to the big toes. Right hand to the ankle, or maybe to the mat, wherever is most comfortable for you. I'm feeling more of a side body stretch here than anything. Tucking the tailbone, driving that left foot back and down. Now with the arm pointed up towards the sky, start to lengthen it towards the front of the room. Keeping and extending the side body length through the left. One more deep inhale through the left side of the body. And let the right or left hand soften down. We're going to step the left foot up and out, so the heels of that right foot out as well. So we're going to find this wide-legged stance, bell match with distance, and then dropping the hands, walking them back towards the heels of the feet. So setting up for a firefly pose, if anybody knows what that is, but I will show you here. And if you know what that is, you can go ahead and take it. But if not, we'll have our hands, walk them inside of the feet. And you can always stop wherever and just breathe into the stretch. We'll start to bend into the knees slightly and continue to walk the hands back. And eventually trying to nudge the shoulders underneath of the knees. You can stay here, just working shoulders under knees. But if you want to play around with the arm balance, dropping the palms to the mat. Keep working the knees on top of those shoulders. Maybe on the sides of the upper arms. You can play around with lifting one foot, lifting both feet, or keeping both feet on the mat. Continue to press the upper arms underneath of the knees. If you extend the legs out, grabbing the earth away. You can play around for a couple breaths, come in and out of it. Rework the arms under the knees. And eventually, coming to a stop in this plane, we'll drop the feet down, lift the hips high. Then heel toe feet, step out hips with distance, catch a hold of the big toes with the peace fingers, lift up halfway. And keeping this leg folding over, dropping the head down, forward fold. And we're waiting for the big toes. Can you release anything more in the neck? Taking it side to side. Letting the breath help you out. Next inhale, lift up halfway. Releasing that grip. Then we'll plant the palms. Option to step or float back. You can lower it down or simply press it right back to down dog. And down dog, taking a deep inhale. And a rich, full exhale. Next inhale, left heel goes high. Bend into the knee, open up the hips. Making some circles with the ankle. Maybe with that knee. And dropping down into that right heel. Next inhale, we extend the left leg high. Stepping the left foot all the way forward, dropping the right heel down. Next inhale, warrior one, reach the arms high. And feeling both feet rooted into the earth. You're splitting your legs apart. Splitting the mat front and back. And finding this tremendous length from the hips, side bodies, arms, and fingertips. And as we inhale, lengthen up a little more. And then release the hands at the low back. Take it over one finger to switch it up. Change is always good in our practice. Opening up the heart, drawing the knuckles back and down. Keep sending that right hip forward. And humbly or warrior, dropping the left shoulder on the inside of that left knee. So now you know from the firefly, this is a great pose to warm up with. Nudging that left shoulder towards that inner left thigh or inner left knee. Let the right shoulder drop down. And breathe into the upper body, send knuckles up and over. Last 2 cycles of breath. On your next inhale, drive into the feet, rise all the way back up. And then open it up to warrior two. Widen the stance. Take a couple breaths to soften and deepen into this pose. Softening shoulders, spreading left fingers forward, right fingers back. And still sealing feet back and forward, so split the mat down the middle. Last full inhale. And straighten the leg out, exit heel toe, this right foot in. Inhale a little short of the stance, so we'll kick the hips back, reach down and forward, finding your triangle pose. Again, now breathing and focusing on this right side body. Let the tailbone tuck. You can take the knees up towards those right fingers. First, noticing both shoulders stacked. We'll extend the right arm overhead, continuing this length. Growing from the right foot all the way up. Last deep breath. And then let this right hand soften down. Stepping the right foot forward. Feet about match with distance. Setting up for another firefly or prepping for firefly, whatever you want to call it. The feet hips with distance. Hands on the mat. And start to walk the heels of the hands in line with heels of the feet. Maybe give the hips a little shake, opening up a little bit more. Start to bend into the knees. Continue to walk the hands back. You know where to stop. You can stop absolutely wherever. Maybe you start to drop the hips down. Play around with one foot, both feet, or continue to nudge the shoulders underneath of those legs. You lift both feet up. Taking a couple more breaths to play around. And lowering the feet down, lifting the hips. Heel toeing feet underneath, hips width distance. Lift up halfway. And exhale, fold in, wrapping the arms around the backs of the legs. You can take a nice deep bend into the knees or keeping them straight. Just using this breath here to melt the chest towards the thighs. Releasing that grip, lift up halfway. Exhale, release. Hold that twice more. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Last time, halfway lift. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Rising all the way up to standing this time. The arms extend overhead. A nice full body stretch. Maybe take a little back bend, pressing the hips forward. We'll practice the arms, open the heart. So much of this motion in our practice today. Sending the heart up. Bring hands to heart center. Allow the shoulders to soften. Deep breath out. Next inhale, reach the arms overhead. And dive it down, forward folds. Lift up halfway, lengthen the spine. And we'll plant the palms. You can step right back to down dog or take another flow. Dog or cobra. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Next inhale, shift out to a high plank. With the shoulders stacked right over those wrists. Feel all 10 toes tucked under, all 10 finger pads driving to the earth. Squeezing up those thighs. One more inhale. And lower all the way down, hugging the elbows against your side bodies. Let the tops of the feet root down. This is one of my favorites recently. We're going to take the hands, resting down by the side to keep the backs of the hands on the earth. So palms are facing up towards the sky. And we're going to keep the hands on the earth. But on your inhale, you'll lift the chest, the feet, but keep the hands grounded on the earth. So here you want to feel your hip points driving to the earth, the big toes, the knees, the shins spin inwards. So keep trying to squeeze everything in towards the center. But finding that internal rotation. Lifting the chest, drive backs of hands down. One more inhale. And lower all the way down. Press one cheek to the mat. Deep breaths in and out. And returning the chin back to center. We'll do that one more time, also adding something after. So prepare inhale. And deep exhale. Next inhale, lift up. Keep backs of hands on the earth. Lifting the feet, the shins, the chest. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Keep everything lifted. We're going to move the hands to underneath the shoulders, so like chaturanga, push-up arms. You squeeze the elbows against your side body. Keep driving hips down, internally rotating the legs in. Squeeze the big toes in. Last big breath in. And exhale, lower everything down. I said in way too many times. Press the opposite cheek down. The hands relax. And then bring chin back to the center of your mat. Start to bend to the knees, windshield wiper leg side to side. And then we'll press up through tabletop. And then tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Next inhale, right heel high. Right knee behind the right wrist, half pigeon, walking the left toes back. Sit up nice and tall. On your exhale, start to fold over, calling the hands forward. If you want to add a little arm or shoulder stretch into this, option to keep the right palm out in front of you, but then thread the left arm underneath of the right arm. So we'll be resting onto this left shoulder. It not only opens up our shoulder, but also gets us to bring this left hip down more to square the hips. And 2 more cycles of breath. Start to crawl the right hands, maybe both hands back in. Release that left arm if it was down. So nice and tall. Now plant the palms, tuck the left toes, send the right heel high. Open up the hip. Bend into the knee. And stay here, flip your dog over, dropping the right foot down. Bending into both knees and extending right fingertips forward. And returning back to downward facing dog. We'll switch out the sides, left heel high. Left knee behind left wrist, walking right toes back. Sit up nice and tall. And walking hands forward. This time option to press the left palm into the top of the mat and grab the right arm underneath. Dropping that right shoulder down. And dropping that right hip down. And slowly unravel, walking your hands back up, raising the chest. Right toes tuck, 3-legged dog. Bend into the left knee. Stay here, flip your dog over, extending left knee forward. And then return, downward facing dog, deep breath out. Next inhale, look to the top of your mat. An optional hop, step, or crawl through to a seat. Then lower all the way down onto your back. Let the knees hug in towards your chest. And we'll invert from here. Feet go up towards the sky. You can stay here, lift the hips, come into shoulder stand. And finding energy out through the legs, out through the toes. And you continue this energy and length by finding cloud pose, letting the feet fall to the back of the mat. Returning back up through your shoulder stance, dropping hips, knees into chest. And then we'll take the arms out to T, nice and relaxed on the mat. So we'll flop down, and then we'll drop legs to the right as the gaze shifts left. Maybe straighten out that right leg. And returning through center, both knees into chest. And then drop legs to the left. Option to straighten the left leg out. And coming back into the middle, raising the forehead up to meet the knees, giving yourself a huge squeeze, finding a little tiny ball. And pressing the hip joint. And then everything go long. Heels heavy, arms back of head heavy. Maybe let the toes turn out, releasing the hips. And closing down the eyes, taking a few moments here for yourself. And next exhale, let everything release from the lungs. Next inhale, visualizing the breath fill up from the heels, the legs, the side bodies, the neck, all the way to the crown of the head. And release that all the way back down. And wiggling fingers and toes. Let the knees hug in. You add a full body stretch. I always add a full body stretch. I don't know why I just skipped over that. Eventually hugging knees in, and rolling off to one side or the other. And rising up to a comfortable seat. Bringing hands to heart and letting the eyes close. And even though it's 5:15 on a Thursday, we still have so many opportunities, possibilities, paths, opportunities to say yes. Just dive deeper into yourself. You can let this be a new beginning of our life journey, of our day. Next inhale, we extend the arms overhead, taking a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, bring hands to heart center. And bowing into ourselves as we seal our practice in. Namaste. Ooh, that was a sweaty one for me. But thank you all so much for watching. Maybe you're watching, maybe you're practicing. Hopefully you're practicing today. I hope you enjoyed all the fun little arm balances. A nice, good sweat now. You feel super awesome and alive to finish or even just start your Thursday. Like I said, you can have a new beginning now. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again next week.